Hey everybody, welcome to day 21 of our 21-day yoga challenge. Thank you so much for arriving on your mat again today and for committing to this practice. So let's go ahead and get started today. Lengthening the crown of the head up towards the sky. Drop the shoulders down the back. Open the palms towards the ceiling. Stacking the spine here, creating a long, strong spine as the shoulders drop down the back. Turning your gaze inward onto the breath. As the breath moves in and out of your nose. Softening around your edges here. As you imagine a pillar of light coming up through your spinal column. And slowly beginning to circle the ribs around this pillar of light. Turning the palms to cup the knees. Spiraling now around this pillar of light, spiraling low and then reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling and spiraling in the opposite direction, moving from up high to down low. Incorporating the shoulders as you spiral up and down, switching directions when you're ready. Spiraling around this pillar of light. And spiraling back to center. Long, strong spine. Draw the shoulders up towards the ears and down the back. Turn the palms towards the ceiling. Nice deep inhalation and exhalation. Bringing the palms together at your heart, setting an intention for your practice today. Mindful as you open the eyes up into the room, coming immediately into our practice today as you untuck the toes, untie the legs, find table pose. From here, tuck the chin, lift the spine up towards the sky for cat pose and cow pose. And moving back and forth between these two poses, up and down, moving the spine. Becoming aware of the muscles around the spine and the strength that you have created through your yoga practice. Coming back into table, tuck the toes and step the knees one step back. Untuck the toes, sit bones come down towards the heels, reach forward towards the front of your mat. And now walk both hands over to the right, extended puppy pose. Creating space in the side body and moving through center. Opposite side. Using the breath to help create space, coming back to center, tucking the chin, fingers move in towards the knees, step the knees back to center, coming into this little curled up cat pose. And back into table pose. Tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog, and roll forward, plank pose. Drop down, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Take the left foot forward, low lunge, drop that right knee, and now reach forward, 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 and now all the way up towards the ceiling. And as you do so, lift that back knee off of the floor, crescent pose. Palms come together at your heart. Lean back, take the gaze up towards the ceiling. And now bring the hands back down to the floor. Step back, plank pose, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Take the right foot forward, low lunge, drop that back knee, and again, reaching forward, 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 something that's almost out of reach. And then as you lift the back knee off of the floor, crescent pose, super strong. Palms come to the heart. Take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Lean back a little bit. Use your big muscle groups, your legs, your glutes. Hands come down to the floor. Step back, plank pose, top of a push-up, drop down all the way onto your bellies. Untuck the toes, press the fingertips into the mat. Baby cobra. Lifting just a little bit, not too high, not yet. Squeeze the glutes. Come all the way back down. Press the palms of the hands into the mat. Tuck the toes and lift the butt. As you're ready, lift the chest. Chaturanga to upward facing dog. To downward facing dog. Expand in this down dog. And bring the left foot forward. Outer edge of the back foot to the mat. Reaching for warrior two, reaching forward and back. Lengthen through the front leg and drop down, triangle pose, gaze up towards the ceiling. Squaring the shoulders, the chest, the ribs, the hips, practicing as if you're in between two panes of glass. Hands come down to the floor, pyramid, sink the heart, the head, down towards that straight leg. Pivot the back foot, high lunge, strong back leg. From high lunge, step back to plank pose. Drop all the way down onto your bellies, untuck the toes a little higher up in your cobra pose now. Squeeze the glutes, drop the shoulders down the back. Gaze can be out in front of you or looking up towards your eyebrows. And coming all the way back down. Tuck the toes, press the knees into the mat, the palms of the hands into the mat. Lift the butt. As you're ready, lift the chest and press up, upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Right foot comes forward. Outer edge of the back foot hits the mat. Rise up, warrior two, reaching forward and back. Taking that front leg down into a 90-degree angle, even if it's just for a moment. Rise up as you wish, if you wish, and now lengthen through the leg and dive down, triangle pose, gaze skyward. Electrify the posture here. Spread the fingers away from one another. Those lower fingers hovering above the floor. Super strong. And now all 10 fingertips to the mat. Sink down, sink the head down, the heart down. Forward folding pyramid pose here. And pivot the back foot. Bend the front knee. Sit down into the pose. Finding high lunge. Activate that back leg. And now step back. Plank pose. Drop down nice and slow. All the way down. Onto your bellies. Untuck the toes. Press the fingertips into the mat. And rise up. Cobra pose. As you come down this time, reach the fingertips back towards the back of the mat and lift the feet. It's okay if you take the feet wide here, the arms wide. Be playful in this pose. It's intense. Breathe. And release the hands down to the mat, pressing up and back into puppy pose. Drop the heart down towards the floor. The sit bones up towards the ceiling. Walk the hands a little further forward. And now coming into that tightly woven cat pose. Fingertips move just in front of the knees square, the chin tucked. Feel that space behind the heart. And walk your way back into table pose. From table pose, extend the left fingertips up towards the sky and bring that left hand down onto the floor. Right fingertips up towards the sky and bring that hand down onto the floor. Take the feet super wide, toes even off the mat, and press back into a downward facing dog. Come on to the tips of the toes, drop the hip points down towards the floor, gaze up towards the ceiling, up dog. Drop the knees, cross the toes, press back, child's pose, and breathe. Breathe to create space. Walk both hands to the right. And through center to the left. And back to center. Gaze towards the front of the mat. Lift the butt, tuck the toes, press the palms of the hands into the mat actively, and press back. Downward facing dog. Stepping to the front of your mat, the middle of your mat, and coming into this forward fold. Hands come to the hips and rise. Drawing the palms together at your heart, find a gaze point on the floor out in front of you and take the right knee in towards the chest. And here, moving from this place to warrior 2 with the palms, warrior 3, pardon me, with the palms together at your heart. Standing on that back wall. So finding stillness. Yesterday, we moved back and forth, kicking back and kicking forward. This time, stillness. Activate that back leg. And now, draw the knee in towards the body. Interlace at the knee. And draw the knee even more so in towards the body using the strength of the arms. Keep that gaze point on the floor. Awesome. And palms together again. Extend back. Warrior 3. Balancing for a good amount of time on this left leg. And stand. Release the leg. Stand tall. Shake it out a little bit if you wish. Gaze is down on the floor. Palms together at the heart. Take the left knee in, balancing on the right leg, observing the fact that each side of your body is different. Palms together actively. Mindful. Everything else fades away. And fold. Stand on the back wall. Super active with those big muscle groups in that left side of your body. And draw that knee forward. Strong on the right foot. Knee comes in, and now take the interlace across the knee. Draw the knee in towards the body. Draw the belly button back towards the spine. Creating balance through the breath. Palms come together at the heart, and making that move back, that journey back. Take your time. Focused in your balance, in the strength of that standing leg, that right leg. And stand tall. Shake it out a little bit here. Good, awesome. And inhale, absolute. Palms together at your heart. Bow forward, fold. Release the head. Snuggle fold here. And breathe. Step the hands forward, step the feet back, downward facing dog to plank pose. Pivot both heels to the left. Draw the navel back towards the spine and both heels to the right. And back to center. Active in this plank pose. Noticing the strength that you have built through your yoga practice. And we come all the way down onto our bellies again. Untuck the toes and cobra. Rise up as high as you want into your cobra pose today. In this moment. And come all the way back down. As you do so, reach those fingertips back. Lift the legs. Balancing here. Balancing in this place. And hands come down to the floor. This time, press back into child's pose. And soften into child's pose. Stack the hands out in front of you. Place the forehead onto the hands and relax. Making your way up into seated and all the way back down onto your backs. Taking a couple of twists before we move into Shavasana. Knees come into the chest. Rock side to side. And let's go ahead and take happy baby. Take take the elbows to the inner knee and grab the pinky edges of your feet and rock side to side. Feel the release in the sacrum. Feel the release from the back bends and the balancing postures. Super strong. Soles of the feet come down to the floor. Open the arms, T position, and drop both knees to the right. And through center to the left. And making your way into a fully reclined position. Take your time to arrive and then surrender completely. Giving yourself this gift of Shavasana, this time that the practice washes over our physical selves, our emotional selves, our spiritual selves as we settle. Settle into this moment. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. Take a full body stretch. Bringing your awareness back into the room as you press up and back into seated. Palms together at the heart, sitting tall again. Returning to your breath, returning to your intention your intention for your yoga practice today. Softening into that intention. Thank you so much for arriving on your yoga mat, for taking time for yourself to practice, to nourish yourself with this practice. Namaste.